So I'm here with Thubten Comerford at the Startup Weekend, and I just wanted to ask you first of all, Thubten, why do you think it's important to support entrepreneurs? Why do you believe in entrepreneurship?
Well, it really is the future of our planet. All the answers are going to be coming from individual people on the ground where they live, solving their own problems rather than relying on large corporations or governments to provide them answers or products or services. It just makes more sense for the answers to come from where the problems are.
Absolutely. And then I guess I'll jump then right into the issue. Why do you think that an event like a Startup Weekend is so important in supporting entrepreneurs? What unique things does it bring to the table that you don't see from other types of events?
Well, what it does is it takes people from where they are, which oftentimes is in a regular corporate job or government job or just out of school or in school, where they really haven't had an experience of what it takes to develop an idea from inception all the way to market. And Startup Weekend provides them an experience of what that actually takes, that they can take in a very short time, 54 hours, go from an idea to a finished product, not an ultimately finished product, but a minimum viable finished product, and take that out to market. They get to feel that in their bones. They get to know what it takes to go from nothing to something. And there's really nothing that matches Startup Weekend for getting that experience.
Absolutely, yeah. The concept of experiential learning, I think, is critical. It's absolutely critical. And we've heard lots of people that are in internships or co-op placements learning on the job, but this is the idea of what a startup goes through from the beginning and condense it into a small space, which is fantastic. So the third question I've got for you, sorry, do you see any common challenges that are facing entrepreneurs, the types of entrepreneurs you see at these events that we're not doing a good enough job addressing as a country, and how could we improve that?
The biggest challenge really is that very few people have an experience of what it takes, and they just don't understand. They don't understand, right? So they read about successful companies in the newspaper. They hear about them on social media or on television, but they don't really know that they can do that too. And the CEOs of very large corporations all started out somewhere, right? They aren't born as CEOs. Right? They had an experience that led them to create a company or a product that got very successful. Any one of us can do that. And the biggest challenge really is educating enough people to create a critical mass to where that becomes part of the culture, and an understanding that anybody can do that, where children in grade school understand that if they have an idea, they can create a product. Some of the most inspiring entrepreneurs I'm finding are teenagers who know how to program computers, and they'll create an iPhone app or iPad app or some other kind of mobile application that does something, just a really small, very small piece of the puzzle. So it solves a very small problem, but there's a huge impact. And because they haven't been educated to not think that way, they don't know that they can't do it. They go ahead and do it. And the more we do programs like Startup Weekend, the more children will grow up thinking that they can, or not knowing that they can't. And that's why I'm so excited about Startup Weekend. Every town should have a Startup Weekend.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much, Thubten. Really appreciate you taking the time to have a chat with us. Great. That was wonderful.